you going? It's Donna here, and it's been a while since I've done a little bit of a business update or shared anything that I've been doing. But basically, yeah, I think the last time I shared a video was sort of towards the end of 2023. I had been making a bit of progress with my animal energy healing, but I kind of reached that point where I needed to start marketing my business, and that's where everything sort of flopped. I've been involved with online marketing before, and I failed dismally, even though I did my best for a good, I'd say, 4.5 years. Mind you, I did go through a lot of personal growth stuff as well. But anyway, I just noticed that I reached this point where I always seem to get to, even back when I was marketing before, and now that I had this business that I wanted to promote, I reached this point where I just always feel like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, what do I do? And so anyway, that led me onto my own healing path. I've been involved in some subtle body energy healing over the past year and a bit. And I'm sort of coming out of that now. And during that time, a lot of that time, I was not motivated to do any sort of marketing whatsoever, any sort of promoting, any sort of anything. So I was going through this healing, and then in July 2024, I broke my arm right near my wrist, lost use of pretty much my hand for a good 3 months almost. That's like with the cast on for 6 weeks. And then when they took the cast off, I had no movement in my right hand whatsoever. I couldn't like flex, I couldn't extend, I couldn't rotate, supinate, pronate, anything, whatever. So that kind of held me back, because my right hand is imperative when it comes to energy healing for me. I use my right hand. I hold my little dowser with my right hand, and I couldn't do that. I couldn't do anything. So I mean, I could do things with my legs, but as far as things I needed my right hand for, I either had to train myself to use my left hand. But anyway, that's not the model of the story. The model of the story is I haven't shared anything for a while. So yeah, then I broke my arm, and that sort of put a hold on everything. I think it was almost like the universe just telling me to slow right down. I think that's why a lot of injuries happen to us, is to, you know, put us on hold for a minute or slow us down. Coming out of that, continued with my energy healing, like my own personal energy healing. And I think maybe about, actually the funny thing was, I should let you know that the Wednesday before I broke my arm on a weekend, on a Saturday actually. I broke it horse riding, would you believe? I got thrown off a horse. But anyway, the Wednesday before, I had my first one-on-one coaching call. And my coach gave me some steps to take on to start progressing with my business. And yeah, funny enough, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 days later, I broke my hand. So that in itself, I think, is a good indication that I really needed to slow down. I'd been hard at it since 2016. You know, relying on my type A personality, getting things done, always doing. Even when I wasn't doing, I was doing. So there's been a bit of healing around that. So yeah, anyway, coming out of it, probably a couple of months ago, it was soon after the start of this year actually, or maybe even towards the end of last year, I started taking on the steps that my coach had told me. Nothing huge, just little steps here and there. And then I finally reached a point where I'm now ready to look at marketing again. I've gone back to the course that I was involved in before, because it's an excellent educational platform. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, and so I'm getting remotivated and thought, well, maybe it's time to start sharing some videos again. So as far as my business is concerned, where I'm at, still animal energy healing. My coach, with that one coaching session that I had before I broke my arm, said I really need to pinpoint who it is I want to help. So it was suggested that I start collecting testimonials. Now, the first bunch of testimonials I decided to collect it was to do with horses, because that is my main passion. I love horses. So I focused on helping horses heal faster after having an injury. And I wouldn't say I had much success in that line. I noticed that a couple of horses that I worked on or conducted healing sessions for, it was more so to do with their mental and emotional headspace that I healed. A couple of owners said they got their old horse back again after it had been traumatized through injury or whatever. So I decided to use that and think, well, maybe my niche is helping horses who have been traumatized, like emotionally, mentally traumatized. So I started a second bunch of testimonials, which I'm still doing. Well, actually, no, I'm into my third bunch, but for the same intention of helping horses to heal after having some sort of trauma. And trauma can be anything for a horse. It can be, I mean, one lady, her horse had an accident in a float. Horses just moving home can be very traumatic for them. I've had horses who have been moved from one owner to another, and I'm having to release heartbreak from their system. And yeah, you'd be surprised what horses can become emotionally traumatized by. But I've been having a lot of good results with that. So I'm sort of at this point now where I'm towards the end of collecting testimonials. It's a bit of a long process, because when I'm collecting the testimonials, I like to make sure the horse, that it's really noticeable that I've helped the horse. So quite often it takes at least three healing sessions. And I don't determine the time slot of those healing sessions. I always ask universe, when is another, or firstly, if another healing session is needed, but secondly, when. So I don't go, okay, I'm going to do this in the next 3 weeks. It's like, well, okay, the second healing is going to be in 4 weeks time, and the third one's going to be in 6 weeks time. So things take time. But I think that's part of my healing journey is patience, is learning to have faith, to go with the flow. And so I guess a really big one is losing expectation as well. Yes. So anyway, I'm sort of towards the end now. I think by the time I've completed the testimonials I'm working through, I'll have about 10. So I think that's a good amount. Well, that's sort of what my coach sort of suggested anyway. It was anywhere between 5 and 10. So I thought I'd go with the upper and go for 10. So yeah, getting towards the end of that and starting to get back into the education again of marketing. So that's where I'm at. I'm also thinking of incorporating other businesses into my life too. A lot of people who work online, some people have one main business and that's cool, but a lot of people have a couple of businesses going at the same time. So I'm kind of hoping to do that, because I realize I love healing animals the way I heal animals. I absolutely love it. It truly, when I know it shouldn't be about results, but when people tell me how much their animals have improved, it truly does warm my heart. So I love it. I love it so much, and so grateful that my journey has led me here. But at the same time, I realize I'm trading time for money. So I would still like to start up another business where I'm possibly promoting things that I've used or come across, such as the education for my marketing, even the subtle body energy healing work that I've been doing. Eventually I'll sort of get into that, but at the moment the focus is on the energy healing, working with horses, and I've just sort of, I guess, pushed myself through another, what's the word you'd call it, another block, I guess. I've reached the part in my marketing where they've suggested that I interview the type of people that I want to market to. And so I believe I'm wanting to work with people who train horses, be that personally they're training their own horses or they're professionals training other people's horses. So I've reached out to a professional horse trainer. It was a really big deal for me to do that because I'm very much an introvert. So I've reached out to a professional horse trainer, just sent them an email because this introvert isn't doing no phone calls at this point in time. So just waiting to get a response for that. And start heading along those lines. So yeah, I'm hoping to do a few more videos, share a bit more of my journey on more of a semi-regular basis as things sort of come up. So yeah, I hope any of you that may have been watching my videos in the past, so sorry that I didn't continue. I guess I just needed time out. Yeah, it was almost, I guess, traumatic going through trying to start a business, and I guess that's the word, trying and doing for the sake of doing. And so I believe I've come out the other end. I believe it's not so much about trying anymore, but just being, just doing what comes up when it needs to come up, allowing, having faith in my own intuition. I mean, that's what my business at the moment is all about, is improving my intuition, because it is getting a lot better, and I am finding that I'm able to intuitively determine why some emotions have come up for horses, and I seem to be doing pretty well with that. I mean, obviously there's always room for improvement, but I'm definitely getting better. So anyway, I'll leave it at that, otherwise I'll start rambling. So thank you very much for watching. As I said, I do apologise for any of you that used to watch my previous videos about starting this animal energetic healing business. Yeah, I just needed a pause, but hopefully back into it. So anyway, until next time, bye for now.